watching CBS 8 Mornings at 6.
Thanks for being here at 6 a.m., everyone. I'm Eric Connert.
And I'm Chris Groh. I know you can feel it right now. It's October 1st.
Right,
the
yes.
fall is upon us. Meteorologist Evan Irani here with a check on the forecast. And Evan, things are cool, but could be warming up.
Yeah. Things are cool, cooler than where they typically would be for this time of year. But the weird part is that today is still below average, but a warmer day for us. So, for instance, the last several days we've been pretty decently below average. Today we'll be right at that average marker in many cases. But if we rest anywhere, whether it be above or below, it will more likely be in the below average range. Wanted to start off with where we are right now outside. This is that view of that quote-unquote sunrise. I know we're still 43 minutes shy of it. Sunset going to be coming at 6:33 this evening. And take a look at what we can expect for your afternoon highs. 74 out by the coast, 82 inland. Like I said, right on par or so with average, but in some cases will be slightly below that normal range. Coming up, we'll talk more about a cool down that'll be coming toward the upcoming weekend. Vanessa Paz has a check of traffic as we kick off our Wednesday. Good morning.
Good morning. Let's go ahead and start things off with the North County, shall we? This is a 78 westbound coming at your screen. Right at Nordahl Drive is starting to pick up. This drive usually thickens up by the 7 o'clock hour. As we switch gears, let's go ahead and see what's happening on the 805. Right side of your screen is at northbound drive as you make your way out of the South Bay. And it's starting to get slow. I don't know if people are trying to head out the door early so they can get home early to watch the Padres game, but things are already slow and go coming out of Chula Vista. Look out for a motorcycle crash that's on the 15 South right at Rancho Bernardo. Coming up a little later, we'll take a look at your Wednesday travel times. That's all ahead. Eric.
We are following this breaking news. At least 69 people are dead after a powerful earthquake hit the Philippines. The U.S. Geological Survey said a 6.9 magnitude quake struck around 10 p.m. local time just off the coast of the country's Cebu province. A tsunami alert has since been canceled, but officials worry injuries may continue to rise due to damage from poorly built structures.
The federal government is partially closed this morning. Today, agencies will determine which workers will be sent home on furlough and which essential employees have to work without pay. They will receive back pay when the shutdown ends. Lawmakers are also due back on Capitol Hill today after multiple votes to keep the government funded failed yesterday. Democrats are calling for a deal on health care provisions. Top Republicans say they won't negotiate until the government reopens. Members of Congress and the president will continue collecting their paychecks. Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid payments are expected to continue as well. Student loan borrowers are still required to make payments, and the TSA warns travelers can expect delays. Vice President J.D. Vance will appear on CBS Mornings today to discuss the administration's plan. And the government shutdown will impact federal workers, including 47,000 in San Diego County.
Active duty military families and low-income households relying on programs like WIC and CalFresh will also be impacted by this. CBS 8's Regina Yarita live outside the San Diego Food Bank with how they're responding to all this here. Regina?
Hey, good morning, guys. That's right. Well, as you mentioned, that government shutdown will impact federal workers, including 47,000 here in San Diego who could potentially face furloughs and layoffs. Now, yesterday, quickly after both Democrats and Republicans, the proposal failed in the Senate, we started to hear reaction from places like the San Diego Food Bank. So I want to actually turn to that full screen here. This is what the San Diego Food Bank said in a written statement, that they remain fully operational and committed to ensuring access to food for those impacted. However, as the food safety net for the entire region, this further strain on our resources will be challenging. We cannot meet this crisis alone. Thousands of federal workers, military families, and low-income households could face immediate financial strain. Essential employees like military personnel, TSA workers, and air traffic controllers must continue working without pay until a deal is reached. Now, the federal government officially shut down at midnight as last-minute efforts by Congress to pass temporary funding measures failed. The shutdown comes after Democrats and Republicans were unable to agree on extending health care benefits as part of a short-term spending bill. Congresswoman Jacobs warned that she warned that the shutdown is making it even harder for military families to make ends meet, but Republicans refused to consider the Democrats' demands. Take a listen.
Even harder for our military families to make ends meet when they already struggle to afford housing and childcare and put food on the table in San Diego.
It's the Democrats who are driving America into a shutdown.
And once again, in terms of Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security benefits, those services will continue during that shutdown. However, the services could potentially have delays. For now, Eric and Chris, I'll send it back to you.
Regina, thank you. Let's turn to baseball here in Chicago. The Padres drew first blood, but were unable to secure the win against the Cubs. The swinging Friars struggled swinging and managed just 4 hits. In fact, Fernando Tatis Jr., Luis Arraez, and Manny Machado combined went 0 for 11 at the plate. Nick Pivetta looked pretty good. He was on the hump with a solid start. He gave up just 3 hits through 5 innings. The problem with that, 2 of those hits were back-to-back home runs in the 5th.
And the Friars now have a big hill to climb, and to reach the summit, they will need to do something that no team has ever done.
CBS 8's Jake Ariani reporting from the Windy City.
Well, happy Wednesday morning to you folks back in San Diego. The Padres score first in Game 1, but it's the only run they would score, and they dropped that opening game to the Chicago Cubs by a score of 3-1. And now, instantly, it feels like a huge uphill climb for the San Diego Padres. They used their ace on the mound from the regular season and could not get a victory in that first game. And look, crazier things have happened in the game of baseball. There is no doubt about that. But just quite literally, we haven't seen this in the game of baseball. Under this wild card format, which came into play in 2022, no team has lost the first game of the series and gone on to win the series. With that being said, the players have not changed their mindset at all.
It's a game we got to win. I think that's the easiest way for us to think about it and not read too deep into it. You know, we got to win, we know that, but we're still going to come have fun, play our brand of baseball. We're not going to be too uptight. We're going to be loose and just go out there and play good baseball.
Stakes are a lot higher, but it's a beautiful thing to just be in this position regardless. So go out there and try to be the best team with 27 outs.
Definitely, we have the confidence, and it's about going out there and performing to the level.
I mean, let's be positive. We had a good start of the game today. Towards the end, we couldn't really get much going. We had a lot of opportunities early on. I think the more opportunities you can create, it'll be better for our team.
It's still got to win 2 games. The series is very much in our control still, and it's a 3-game series, and obviously it's a race to 2 wins, and they have 1 and we have none. But there's not going to be panic. The focus is going to be the same, and we're not going to come in tomorrow and try to change things up and panic, but we're going to come in focused, and we know what we have to do.
Nothing's changed. Obviously, we're 1 down where we don't want to be, but wash this up and get ready for tomorrow and go out there and try to do the same thing and come out with a victory.
Confidence is huge. I mean, today's today, but we have a game tomorrow and we got a game the next day. So just flush it today. Pick the good things that happened today, and just move on to tomorrow. No time to focus on this game. Just let's move on to tomorrow.
And for Nick Pivetta, he had a lot of pressure on his shoulders to come out here and throw the ball well, and to be honest, he did. He struck out 9 and gave up just 3 hits in his 5 innings yesterday. Unfortunately, 2 of those 3 hits left Wrigley Field. So now for the San Diego Padres, it is either make history or be history. For the Chicago Cubs, they are firmly in the driver's seat with Milwaukee in the windshield. Game 2 right here at Wrigley Field today. First pitch, 12:08 San Diego time. We'll see you then. I'm Jake Ariani.
And the Padres are hosting a watch party in Gallagher Square for today's game. Tickets are just $5 on Padres.com/watch party. Gates open at 11, and the game starts at 12:08.
All right, so yeah, get out there. Going to be nice and comfortable for that, to gather around other brown and gold Padres supporters, cheer them on, and maybe we can will them from San Diego.
You'll hear it all the way from here.
And it's kind of perfect weather for it. You get to enjoy the San Diego sunshine, the temperatures in the 70s out there for the watch party. You can opt for the T-shirt, the jersey. I wouldn't say the tank top, because temperatures in many cases are still going to be all the way down to the low 70s, otherwise moving toward the mid 70s. In downtown San Diego, for example, we should get to the mid 70s, but by all means, that breeze will hold on, light breeze, mostly sunny afternoon. 82 inland this afternoon. That's going to be mainly toward our eastern valleys. 77 for the mountains and 94 for the deserts. We originally expected there to be a bit of fog to watch out for this morning. Haven't seen much of it develop, but we'll still keep tabs on these kind of smaller clouds developing just around the Del Mar area. Overnight lows are very, very comfortable. Mostly 40s and 50s out there. Much cooler air air being allowed to come into our homes if we open up the windows overnight. So ideally, you've been able to turn off the AC and enjoy the natural AC that Mother Nature has for you. 48 degrees right now in Ramona, 54 in Alpine, 56 in Mira Mesa, and 61 right now in Carlsbad. As we get toward the afternoon, we should see temperatures within average by a degree or so in downtown San Diego and Ramona. Borrego Springs coming in about 4 degrees cooler than average. It's all thanks to this ridge of high pressure that would normally bring above average temperatures, but it's pretty weak, so it's bringing us to about average. Now, over the next couple days, a trough slides in over the west coast, and that's going to help encourage a pretty decent temperature cool down. That's going to come by the weekend, 76 or so Saturday and Sunday afternoon, still holding on to a lot of that sunshine. Vanessa Paz has a check of traffic. Looks like things are already starting to pick up on some of our freeways.
Yeah, 6:10 is the time. We are tracking a couple of crashes on the 15. So if you use the 15 and you're coming out of Escondido, you may want to listen in. This is what it looks like right side of your screen. That's that southbound drive as you make your way through Rancho Bernardo and Rancho Penasquitos. Meanwhile, this is South Bay in both directions. Things are also starting to pick up as you make your way out of Chula Vista. All right, we have two things happening on the 15. One at Rancho Bernardo, we have a crash involving a car and a motorcycle. A little more north of that, we have another crash, this one on the 15 South right at 9th. Near Auto Parkway. And you can see it's causing a good amount of slowing as you make your way through that 78 interchange. As we take a look at speeds, we're down to about 10 miles per hour or so. Meanwhile, if you're coming in from Oceanside via the 5 South, you're not looking at any major issues. So it's the freeway that's a little more inland that's plugged up. All right, 68 mile per hour speeds coming in from Santee. We are smooth sailing as you make your way up the summit and out of Chula Vista and the 805. As well as the 5, we're now seeing, again, a little bit of slowing once you get past Plaza Boulevard, but it looks like it's confined to that pocket because we're on average at about 65 or so. 12 to about 30 minutes to get you southbound. Remember, we are slow and go in from Escondido through the Rancho Bernardo area because of that crash. 15 minutes, meanwhile, full span of the 78. If you're traveling in anywhere between the 94, the 8, as well as the 52, anywhere between 5 and 7 minutes. And here's what it looks like coming in from the South Bay. Still in pretty good shape with the exception of the Coronado Bridge. That's where we're seeing the most brake tapping. Full span of it will take you about 10 minutes. All right, it is 6:12. Let's go ahead and see what's happening with your border wait times. Over 2 hours inbound from San Ysidro's port of entry. Otay Mesa's port of entry close to that. Over an hour at last check.